Hello and welcome to the 28th episode of Fresh Off the Reel. My name's Lib,
And I'm a Pat with a Vendetta.
and today we're actually pulling from one of our recommendations that we have the form for. You know, the one we advertise at the end of every episode. We're actually doing it now. We're doing it. It's happening.
It only took almost 30 episodes.
Yeah, like we established a like recommendation thing like I want to say 6 episodes in. I can't really remember. This was the first recommendation that we got, and we're
Yep.
we're doing it now. Episode almost 30.
It's funny because story time for the listeners, but technically this is a paid a
Oh
paid
yeah.
recommendation because our lovely friend Nat K1K10K on Twitch recommended this movie, and she gave me a coupon for a free Cineplex rental, and she was like, use this and watch B for Vendetta, and then reviewed in the podcast, and then I didn't use it. And then we
Yeah.
didn't review B for Vendetta. We're doing it now.
We're doing it now. So, Natasha, if you're listening, thanks for the recommendation. Because this week we watched V for Vendetta. And if you want to be featured on our recommendations, go ahead and click on the link tree and recommend us a movie because we're actually going to start doing that. Like, this is the first of many.
Yep, we have a couple in the old schedule.
Yeah. If you want to figure out what's next, so do I.
Yeah, actually, I don't remember. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember
I don't
this.
remember either, but I just got home from work. All right, let's start with V for Vendetta. This is a DC movie, very like obscure DC comic that was made into a movie.
This is a DC graphic novel in the same vein as Watchmen. I think Watchmen is more popular.
Yeah, it's kind of like well, no, that's not a DC. I was gonna say it's like Scott Pilgrim. That's not DC.
That's not DC. It's a graphic novel like Scott Pilgrim. It's a DC comic in like name only.
Yeah,
Like DC published it. It isn't connected to the wider DC universe, at least not like the Justice League universe, as far as I'm aware, because they recently made Watchmen canon, so I don't know where this lies. Right?
wait, what? This is
Um,
not about like superheroes.
yeah, like this is just DC published this graphic novel, so it's DC in name, but yeah.
Yeah, and the movie is way better than the fucking graphic novel apparently.
The movie is really good. I have one thing I think the book does better, but otherwise I think the movie is fantastic in basically every other way.
The thing that the book does better is it doesn't have Natalie Portman.
Okay, I have two things the book does better.
Anyways, let's talk cinema. So, V for Vendetta, 2005. I thought this was that's pretty old. Honestly, I was surprised. The movie was directed by James McTeigue. I don't know this guy.
The only other movie I've seen that this guy has done is The Raven.
I hear it's a goth favorite.
I hear it's a favorite among certain people. Uh, the Raven. The Raven's like pretty meh. I wasn't too into it, but yeah. This is certainly better. This is better, much better.
Yeah, well, other movies directed by him. He directed Ninja Assassin, whatever that is, and Breaking In and Survivor. No, not the Survivor. Not the show. This is a Pierce Brosnan movie that sucks.
Yeah, based on this dude's like Letterboxd scores, V for Vendetta is his best movie by a landslide.
Yeah, by a huge landslide. So let's read this plot synopsis.
Wait, before we do that, what did you rate the movie, Lib?
Oh, I gave it 5 out of 5.
Nice. I gave it 4 out of 5, but it flops for me between a 4 and a 4.5 because of the one thing I think the book does better. But generally, I think this is really, really good. And if you haven't seen it, you should totally go out there and watch it. It has a niche cult following for a reason. I'm definitely okay with being part of that.
Yeah, and there's definitely something you will visually recognize from this movie, and that of course is the mask.
Yep.
Everybody and their mother knows about the anonymous hacking group that used these masks from I don't know if it's from this movie or from the comic. I don't know if that's where it originated. It might be. It might have originated from the comic. You know, probably did. It probably did.
Probably from the comic, but This mask is also just really popular as a Halloween thing. Like I
Yeah.
see this a lot. I see this a lot. Like not just on the internet.
Growing up, this mask I saw everywhere. And then like it's always anonymous, anonymous hacked Sony. Remember that?
I remember when Anonymous hacked Sony in like 2012. I want to
Something
say.
like that. Yeah.
Fun fact: I had a PS3 at the time, and I got so angry I couldn't play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 that I sold my PS3 and got a 360 instead.
Is
That
that
I
what?
kept for like a month, and then I rebought a PS3. This is a true story.
Are you fucking you sold your PS3 just because you couldn't log in?
Yeah.
But it was you couldn't. It was only for like 2 days.
No. This was a much like wider hack. This is like it was down for like a couple weeks.
It didn't affect me because I only played single player games on my PS3.
It didn't affect me much either. I don't know why I reacted that way.
All right.
I think if I could go back to see myself as a 12-year-old, I would say a lot of things to him.
That's so fucking
Uh,
funny. That's
I want my GameCube games back, kid. Why did you get rid of them?
I want to go back to my kid self and tell myself to not throw my DS down the balcony because I did that.
Kids do and say the darndest things.
Uh
But this movie isn't about kids at all. There's like no children in this movie at all.
no, there are, and she dies. There's a single kid and she dies. Remember, she gets shot.
Right. She gets Maria'd.
She gets.
for
Now that I know
go
this
watch,
joke,
go watch the Sonic episode for more elaboration on that.
go back and watch the last episode on Sonic 2.
No, the last episode was not Sonic 2.
Oh,
Was that
yes, it was.
between?
Oh yeah, no, oh
No.
yeah, the last episode was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
I watched both those movies on the same week, so they kind of blurred together.
They're basically the same movie, right? Like Sonic. Like if you replace the main character from V for Vendetta or Everything Everywhere All at Once with Sonic, it's the same movie, like more or less, right? Like imagine like V, but he's Sonic.
But he's Sonic.
It's
No.
the same movie.
No, that's not the same movie.
Like
Sonic
like
overthrows the government.
like V like torturing like Evie,
S for
but
Sonic.
it's Sonic. But it's Sonic.
This is the plot synopsis from Letterboxd. V for Vendetta. This is a long tagline. People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people. Ooh. Yeah, we're gonna get pretty political in this episode.
Okay, Anonymous.
In a world in which Great Britain has become a fascist state, it actually started with In a World.
In a world
Where Great Britain has become a fascist state, a mass vigilante, only known as V, conducts guerrilla warfare against the oppressive British government. When V rescues a young woman from the secret police, we're gonna explain that. he finds in her an ally, and with whom he can continue his fight to free the people of Britain.
You know, reading this description, like it sounds like a DC comic.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those movies that like fucking conspiracy theorists make that are like, this is what the future is gonna be like if we don't overthrow our government.
Yeah. And like V is clearly supposed to be like a Batman-esque character.
Yeah.
Except he does much worse shit than Batman would ever do, but like that's a separate conversation.
Well, V tries not to kill people.
Not very successful, and that successfully, and that's like one thing I want to like make a statement about comparing this movie to the graphic novel. Is like in the graphic novel, V is a lot more like morally ambiguous. Like the actions he does are the same for the most part, but the way he acts and the way he he speaks and like his dialogue and his interactions with the other characters, he's a lot more like morally gray, where like you never really know if you should be rooting for him or not, or if he's actually the quote unquote hero. Whereas in this movie, it's a lot more black or white with its like political statement.
Yeah.
It's a political movie. Okay, let's throw that out there. It is a very political movie, but like this movie like paints the government as evil, and V and all his actions as like objectively good. And I don't think that's how it was supposed to be interpreted. Like V is trying to do the right thing, kind of in the comic, but his actions are a lot more like bad.
Bad.
Like they're not. He's not a good guy. He's not a hero, and like he's not portrayed as a hero here, but he's definitely portrayed as more of a like I'm right. This is the right course of action.
This is kind of like the opposite of the Dune episode because he read the book this time.
Well, I read this in like Watchmen as like a kid because I was an edgy teenager.
Oh boy. What's a kid gonna do with the knowledge you read from V for Vendetta?
Nothing. I didn't even understand it until I got older and I read Reddit posts about it. But like, I was like, oh, I'm angsty. I can't read Spider-Man anymore. I have to read comic books for adults.
Oh, I read Watchmen punch the blood.
As if Watchmen isn't like childish fucking slop.
Like
But
the
anyway,
fucking Suicide Squad.
we're not talking. Yeah, exactly. Like it me reading Watchmen and V for Vendetta as a kid and trying to get something out of it is like me like a child watching Suicide Squad, like the original Suicide Squad. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a hero for real men. This is a superhero movie for adults. Yeah.
Dude, I have such a oh my god. When I started high school, there was this there's I don't know why I'm telling this story, but that it was around the time Suicide Squad came out, and you know how like the couple costume of that year was Joker and Harley Quinn.
It's so stupid, by the way. Like
Like
you guys have missed the fucking
yeah,
point on that one.
you don't know how they're really. I mean, like in the original movie, they portrayed completely wrong, and like in the end, she like gets back with him, right? But like, fuck.
Well, it's not that they portray it wrong. It's that they portray it the way groomed like Harley Quinn viewed their relationship.
Yeah,
It's
but
like she saw it as like this happy go lucky, oh he loves me relationship. He just beats me because he loves me. Abusive relationship, right? And I guess that's like all the people doing couple cosplays didn't like finish the movie where like we
yeah,
clearly see that Joker's a fucking like prick and like is super abusive. And also just on top of everything, he's the fucking Joker. like like full stop, forget like the fact of oh maybe he's a nice guy. Like no, he's the fucking Joker, guys. Like come on.
and then so the reason why I'm telling this story is because there's this couple that throughout my entire high school years from start to finish they were together, and I think they're still together today. God bless them, man. That's fucking it's insane. But every single Halloween, and I mean every single Halloween, they both had the exact same costume. He would be Jared Leto Joker, and she would be Harley Quinn.
I don't want to comment on the state of a relationship I don't know the people involved in, but I think they missed the point of that movie or they didn't watch it.
I don't think they watched it. I just don't think they watched it at all.
That's very possible. You think people did like AV and V couple cosplays? You think that was a
Me,
thing?
I don't know. I don't know about well, you think like every Halloween a girl should shave her head or wear a bald cap.
I think wear a bald cap is more likely, but
And then the other guy would fucking dress like Zorro but put an anonymous mask.
yeah. And again, they would be missing the point of their dynamic completely because he fucking like tortures her in this story. But anyway,
This movie, so it takes place in this universe where like the United States is like destroyed pretty much, and like the only like big main major city that speaks English, I would assume, is Britain. And so the government was like, let's fucking enslave everybody to make sure everybody's alive. But of course that gave all power to government, and then that's where the message of the movie comes in that we're not going to go over a lot of because it's we're going to start sounding like conspiracy theorists. This is in the movie. We don't believe these things.
yeah, we are not going to be giving our opinion on the things that happen in this movie, or like the real life equivalent of these events. We're just going to be talking about them as they are presented in the movie.
It's a DC comic. Don't take it seriously.
As much as I would love to, Batman is not real either. And if Batman was real, he would be arrested or dead.
Speaking of Batman, I've seen a bunch of articles compare this to the Batman and saying that the Batman is this generation's version of V for Vendetta. And I think, again, going back to what we were saying about people not watching, did they not watch V for Vendetta? Did they not watch the Batman?
Did they not watch the Batman? Yeah,
The
like
Batman has
that's
nothing to do with the government.
yeah, this isn't. It's like they saw the word vigilante and then they stopped there.
Oh my god.
It's like I get like yeah, I guess like Batman's a vigilante and V is a vigilante. They both wear masks. They're the same person, right?
Batman is V. Speaking of who is V, we don't know. It's never revealed, and that's one of my favorite things about this movie. It's implied that somebody in this movie is V, but we'll never know. I've seen theories that it's the one of the cops that only gets like 3 lines.
We're never gonna know. And what I like about it though is it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, it could be anybody. That's the whole point, right? It could be anybody. Like that's the whole climax is based on that.
Anyone can wear the mask. There's your Spider-Man reference for today.
Oh wow, I didn't even.
But yeah, it's like V's whole shtick is he's trying to like start a revolution, right? So like who he is doesn't matter because he could be anybody. You should still be doing the same, right? Like that's his whole stance. And I think it would have led to like a kind of cop out ending where like he takes off the mask and oh, it's big reveal because like it ultimately doesn't matter. Unlike a character like Batman, who again I don't know why these people are being fucking compared. Like Batman's identity does matter. It's very important to his story, right? So like you can't replace Batman with like a random Joe and get the same kind of investment or the same kind of story arc out of it because who like Batman's identity is super important. The V's isn't. V is an idea, like the Joker. V is an idea manifested, right? V wants to create a society in that which we live in.
V is in this movie. He slowly kills all the people in power, the government. In this movie, the government's portrayed like a like. What's the best way to describe? Like the Emperor in Star Wars.
Yeah, the government is portrayed as like almost cartoonishly evil.
Yeah, this like evil council of super bad guys.
Yeah, which again, like the book is a little softer on. Like it's not presented like the government is evil and V is good. They're both kind of gray, and I think that's something the movie fails on, like establishing well. But otherwise, it's like it's great. But yeah, the government here is portrayed as like super villains.
Super villains, yeah, and like there's the one main guy. Oh, what's his name? I'm trying to find. Creedy, right? It's Creedy. Yeah, that's it. This is the main guy, Creedy, and the little editor's note. I said the main bad guy was Creedy. That's not his name. It's Sutler, played by John Hurt. A fantastic performance. I think I correct myself later in the episode, but I'm gonna keep calling him Creedy until I realize that I'm wrong and correct myself. But whenever I say Creedy and I talk about the Supreme Chancellor or anything, I'm actually talking about Sutler, not Creedy. I was just being a dum-dum. Alright, back to the episode. What do they call him? Supreme Chancellor? It's like
the government is like World War II Germany.
yeah. That I think that's what it's supposed to be, like a model of.
Yeah, it's probably supposed to be, but like I don't know if it like that wasn't the intent of the story, right? That wasn't the intent of the original.
I think the movie might be trying to tell a different kind of story, but like this the
Yeah,
same
maybe.
story, but like
Maybe they thought audiences were too like
dumb.
maybe not dumb, but like they didn't want to portray they want to portray this kind of story as any other way because they don't want to like mold their mindset about real world events, right? Especially like America, right? Like America has their version of what happened during X or Y event, and then there's like the opposing side has their version, and then there's like what actually happened. Somewhere in the middle is what actually happened. And I feel like the book is what actually happened, and the movie is the government telling its version of what happened. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get that.
The original story is supposed to be somewhere in the middle, whereas the movie picks a side, which isn't a bad thing. And I guess they did it because it's a movie and you have to like give a decisive answer. I guess, right?
Yeah, you don't really see a lot of movies doing the whole in the middle thing.
Yeah, like open ended. Like this whole movie is up to your interpretation,
I mean,
right? They didn't
I
like.
really hope. I can't believe I'm bringing this up. I really hope the second Dune movie does that because the book series has a lot of that. I actually update on Dune. I started reading the second book.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really good. I haven't read the first book and like I read the first book years ago, and I'm finally starting to read the second book.
You're gonna be excited for that Dune 2.
I really hope they make movies for all the books, man.
Oh, yeah,
Fuck.
Dune
Dune
2
2
is
is
still
still
the
the
first.
first book, yeah.
Right.
Like I was talking about that with my friend. I was like, if they do the rest of the books, they have to do one movie per book at this point. Because if they keep making them two parts, it's gonna be 12 movies.
Hey, listen, Dune got nominated for a bunch of shit. Maybe investors are into that, right?
We're gonna be at the year 2090 before the last Dune movie comes out.
The last Dune movie will be on the year Dune would be happening for real.
The year 10,000.
That's the plan. Is we're gonna keep making Dune movies until Dune really happens, and then we're gonna retell the original stories as based on a true story. See, Hollywood, hire me. I'll be I'll be around. I'll be here in 8,000 years, bro. Just call me. And when they do, I'll wear an anonymous mask and I'll be like, rise up against our oppressors.
Rise up against the Harkonnen. And the
All
God
planned.
Emperors. Oh wait, that's a spoiler. Sorry.
All the whole franchise is ruined.
I just spoiled the whole fucking friend. No, that's not.
I'm gonna be real. I don't even. What you just said didn't even register in my brain, so it's not even a spoiler.
Like
I don't care.
one of my favorite little details that's in the first Dune movie I can't talk about because it's such a big spoiler. But
In the movie,
in the first Dune movie, it's a
no,
huge foreshadow for the rest of the series, especially the fourth book.
we talk about it in our episode.
No, we didn't. I didn't want to spoil it. I didn't even mention it.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll elaborate more, maybe.
It relates to the God Emperor.
In 2023 is when Dune Part 2 is supposed to come out, right?
Yes, yeah.
Whenever that episode of the podcast comes out, we'll elaborate further.
Oh, I don't know if they're gonna show it in. Well, we'll see. I need a cast list. That's what I need. I need a cast list for the second movie.
Okay.
But anyways, let's start talking about the cast because the all the performances except one in this movie are like phenomenal.
Yep. Hugo Weaving is V. There you go. We know V's identity. It's Hugo Weaving
It's
for
Hugo
real.
Weaving.
It's actually him.
It's a agent. What's his in the Matrix? Agent Smith.
Like in general, he's a great actor, but in this movie, he's amazing.
He speaks so fluently and like professional. It feels like half of these lines were like ripped out of a poem, you know?
Almost like words are supposed to flow elegantly to enter the mind of the mass population and manipulate them into doing something.
Ooh, I wonder.
I wonder if that's what they were going for. And maybe manipulate wasn't the right word, but yeah, you get what I'm saying.
No, I mean, conspiracy theorists would use the word manipulate.
V would use inspire, but you know.
Yeah, he would use inspire, but he is a conspiracy theorist.
True.
So V's character, he's kind of Zorro, like he's I mean like in the way he acts. Like his favorite movie is a like 1920s action film, and like he quotes it all the time.
He is like a Zorro. I was gonna say Robin Hood, but that's not exactly true either.
He's more of a just like well he dresses like Zorro.
Yeah, he's an outlaw type.
Yeah, he's a vigilante, if you will. He's
All I'm saying is
Batman.
Batman's origin includes the Mask of Zorro.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So like the movie Batman went to go see with his parents, or the play they went to go see was the Mask of Zorro.
Yeah,
And then his parents got shot in the alley.
V probably went to watch it and was like, I want to do that.
V watched Thomas and Martha Wayne get shot and did nothing, and then decided that he couldn't live with himself unless he started taking a stand against the government that killed Thomas and Martha.
So this movie takes place in the far, far future of 2015, where basically, like, everybody is locked in their houses after a certain time, and if you're caught outside, you like go to jail or something. But if somebody catches you like speaking ill of the government, they'll lock you away forever, and you'll never see. Or they'll probably kill you. They don't tell you what happens, but most likely they kill you because the government is trying to keep, quote unquote, keep the peace, but it's what's more happening is population control.
Yeah. Again, like depending on who you ask, maybe it's maintaining the peace, maybe it's population control.
And V is trying to, this is the part I'm vague about. Like, there's this story of like in like the 1600s of this guy where on the 5th of November he like overthrew the government or something, and and then everyone prospered, and that was I don't remember that part of the movie. But V is trying to do that again in this modern age and try to free Britain and give the city back to the people, really. To do that, he slowly murders every member of the supreme government and like makes big scenes out of them to make it known to the public. And he tries to he goes on TV and spits out what's really propaganda. And
Yeah, because like when you think about it, right, what V's doing is like essentially no different than what the government is doing. It's just on the opposing side of that argument, really.
yeah.
Because like the government is killing people who oppose them and or like speak ill against them or whatever, but like V's just doing the same, and they're killing people who speak against or are fighting against the people. Like it's the same. It's the same concept. It's just two opposing sides. And again, I'm not gonna keep bringing this up because I've said this too much already. But the book is a little more like like messy between them. Like it's a little more vague.
And how Natalie Portman is thrown into all of this randomly. Because she's just like sneaking out of her house to go see somebody, and then like she finds V, and then they fall in love basically. Because she, I guess, has Stockholm syndrome. Because he straight up tortures her.
Yep.
Like he locks her up and makes her think she's going to die.
The way she's introduced to is different in the book. She's not like a prostitute in the book, or would be prostitute. She's a victim of assault in the book.
Yeah, in the movie she's just kind of there.
That's how she's introduced. They're essentially introduced as like this is a crime that's happening from someone in power against a civilian. Therefore, V gets involved, right? But like in the movie, she's a prostitute or going to become a teenage prostitute, and V like defends her from an assault. Whereas in the book, she's just a civilian who is assaulted.
Yeah. And really, like, she just, in this movie, she's basically just a, like, messenger, kind of. Like, or an accomplice, I should say. Like, she helps him overthrow the government, and then eventually, the entire city is on V's side, which is probably the most unrealistic part of this movie. There's got to be some people that, and like, even in like an oppressed society like that, there's got to be like 200 or 300 people that like don't want to be involved.
Oh yeah, for sure. But again, the movie portrays him as right, therefore everybody rallies behind him.
Yeah. So everyone in the city is sent a mask and a Zorro costume, and they go and storm the government, and they blow up Parliament, and they kill the supreme
I
government.
have a weird connection to make, but this is it's like contextually very different. Remember Coney 2012?
What?
Do you remember Coney 2012?
I don't know what that is.
It was like this political movement to take down a Ugandan uh leader. Like
I thought you were gonna
Ugandan.
compare it to the Area 51 raid a couple years
No,
ago.
okay, well, okay, the Area 51 raid, I guess, is also true, but it's kind of funny. Like that's comedic. This was like a thing to take down an actual like militia, and like the guy who was like leading this organization, there was an American dude, sent out a bunch of like a box for everyone who paid. They came with like a shirt that said Coney 2012, and like and you were supposed to go around the streets of wherever you were from and put like posters everywhere.
What?
To stop
What
Cody.
the fuck?
And it's just like, yeah, like it's just like V for Vendetta, guys.
Dude. Oh wow. I had no idea what.
Do you not remember this? Do you not remember Coney 2012?
I don't know what even you're. Hold on. I'm gonna look it up.
They came to like our high school. The dude came and he gave like a speech. Well, I guess we went to high school at very different times, I guess, but you were alive in 2012.
No, but when you were in high school, I was in like 3rd grade.
Yeah, but like I'm sure you would have heard about it. Like it was a big thing.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I mean, well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, it's like V for Vendetta.
But I'm looking it up right now. I'm looking at articles. This is fucking crazy. How is this not? How is this not taught in history classes? This is the kind of shit that should be taught.
I'll tell you why. It's because a lot of it was like made up bullshit. But anyway, like Coney was real, but like a lot of what this guy was trying to do was greatly exaggerated.
Oh, there's a movie
and also,
about it.
Realistically, there wasn't much anybody could really do about it, and his plan kind of sucked, and he embezzled a bunch of money. It was a big thing. That's why I'm kind of surprised you hadn't heard about it, because it kind of blew up as a meme, like this whole thing. Anyway,
yeah, no,
that's enough Coney 2012 talk. I thought it was funny that like you were explaining V for Vendetta, and I got like a war flashback. Oh yeah, like Coney 2012.
Damn, does that make you feel old, or does that should I just feel stupid?
I think you should feel stupid, not. I feel old. I think you should feel stupid.
All right, back to Natalie Portman. This is the only performance in the movie I don't like. She had to put on an accent, right? Like she's not British, so she had to put on a British accent. I'm gonna be honest, it sounds very fake. I don't like the.
It doesn't sound natural.
Yeah. It doesn't. It sounds like she could have used a bit more accent training for this movie. But you know what? Like it works for what it is, right? It's just a movie, but still.
Well, my take on that whole thing is like, if why not, like, because like I'm sure getting a British actor would have been easy, right? Like
Yeah, I'm sure it would have been easy. Like you could make the argument it was like, oh, but it's 2005.
It's 2005, and like Natalie Portman was a big name in 2005. Not to say she isn't still like noteworthy actress, but like 2005 was fresh off like Star Wars.
Yeah, well, this movie came out right. I think either right before or right after Episode 3. It was either right before or right after. I can't remember.
Yeah, so like Natalie Portman was a pretty big name at the time, so I got like that's why they went with her. But I feel like like instead of getting actors to do accent training, why not just get native speakers to do these movies? But I guess that's a different conversation Hollywood's not ready to have.
Yeah, but and you know what? The same thing could be said about today about American actors. If you're making an American movie, why are you casting British actors with American accents? Just cast an American actor.
It's always funny to me when I hear like when I first heard Andrew Garfield or like Tom Holland's like normal speaking voice, I was caught off guard. I was like, wait, hold on, what?
The fucking idea that the only movie that Andrew Garfield is in where he uses his normal speaking voice is Hacksaw Ridge. Like, what? That's the only one, and he's in so many movies, especially these days, but he's always an American role.
He's always an American, and the thing is, he does different American accents in all of them. It's not like he has one definitive American accent for movies. He does different ones.
Yeah, whereas Tom Holland, he sounds exactly the same as Nathan Drake and as Peter Parker. But then if you watch Devil All the Time, that his performance is fucking beautiful in that movie.
Yeah, because he's not speaking in a language. He's not an accent. He's not like native speaking it.
I think he shines in that movie.
That movie is not great, but he definitely shines in it. Yeah, and I do love his performance as Peter Parker. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. And like that's also not to say that like Andrew Garfield is insane. Like Andrew Garfield is insanely talented. for being able to do what he does.
Yeah, no, I think his performance as Jonathan Larson was the best performance of 2021 in my opinion.
Like he's super talented, but it's kind of funny. Like why not get British people to be in these movies? Why are we still casting white people as Asian characters? But anyway, that's a conversation for another time.
Yeah, yeah.
Scarlett Johansson. But yeah. Anyway,
Natalie Portman's performance is one thing, but the character Evie, let's talk about her for a bit because we're talking about V. Let's talk about Evie. I'm sure she's way better in the comic.
she's way better in the comic.
I'm sure she's 100 times better in the comic, but she's basically the new V after the end of the movie. Because spoilers, V dies. Oh, we didn't get into that whole thing about V kind of being immortal.
There's this great line where V is like behind this cloak isn't blood and flesh. I'm an idea, which is kind of what I was joking about earlier.
Because we're not going to get into it because it's not actually super important to when talking about this film, but there was like this experiment with a like experimental drug, and the only reason this drug was created was to scare the public, because the drug just started killing people. The only survivor of this plague that started was V, and it gave him like super, like he gave him like he could heal super fast, and he's basically invincible. Like he's kind of like bulletproof. But you know, if shot enough times, he will die. Which is exactly what happens in this movie.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, an idea is still spawned from a man, and a man can die just as anyone else can. We're getting deep.
Directly from the movie. I see through your lies, Pat. That didn't come from your noggin. That was his last line.
I never claimed that it came from my noggin. But yeah, and Evie kind of taking up the mantle at the end of the movie is supposed to like continue the idea that like V could be anybody, right?
Yeah, because at the end of the movie, everyone's V. Even one of the detectives that have been chasing Evie and V throughout the entire movie, even he comes around to it afterwards.
Yeah, because V's the hero.
There's
the
a
hero,
bit of V in everybody.
the hero of Britain deserves, but not the one it needs right now.
Also, you want to know why he chose the name V? It's not for the word vendetta. It's because he was patient number 5 at the hospital when they gave him the drug. Cool, right? Who else is in this movie? We have Stephen Fry as like the guy that Evie keeps seeing.
Yeah, Dietrich, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, something like Gordon. His first name's Gordon.
John Hurt is in this movie as well.
Yeah, he's in he's in Spaceballs.
He's in like Hellboy. He's in Hellboy. He's in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, everyone's favorite Indiana Jones movie.
Who does he play in this? He's one of the government people, isn't he?
Yeah.
Chancellor Adam Sutler. Yeah.
He's in Alien. He's a Doctor Who for all you Whovians out there. John Hurt's great. John Hurt's really good actor.
Yeah, he's the main bad guy.
But Lib, this movie's not supposed to have a bad guy.
Oh, you're right. Oh, fuck. I picked a side. Damn it.
He's the War Doctor, so he makes me feel all warm and fuzzy like my grandpa. I want to give John Hurt a hug.
I love him.
He's great.
He's John Marek in The Elephant Man. You know, that movie that film teachers force you to watch.
That's that movie I've heard of and have not seen.
Yeah, take a film class. The teacher's going to force you to watch it.
I took 2 film classes. They did not make me watch it.
Did they make you watch Citizen Kane?
They made me watch Citizen Kane. They made me watch No Country for Old Men, which became one of my favorite movies of all time.
Good movie. Haven't seen it.
They made me watch The Shining and then told me to write a paper on it as if I saw it for the first time. But I had been watching it like every year for my entire life up to that point because I love The Shining.
But the rest of the cast is great. Like everyone in this movie is great. My only problem is really Natalie Portman, but her performance and her character, Evie, on its own, didn't ruin the movie for me. I still gave it 5 stars in the end.
Yeah, like I think this like overall the acting here is great.
And the music in this movie is great too.
This movie is really well shot as well. Like I wish I could like talk about more specific things, but this movie on like a production standpoint is fantastic.
Yeah,
The
this was a shot by the same guy who did The Princess Bride. And that movie shot really well too for being a parody film.
I did not know that.
Yeah. What's his name? Adrian Biddle. But he also did The Mummy and Alien.
Okay, more fantastically shot movies.
Yeah,
Okay,
more. Yeah, he's a big name in like late '90s, early 2000s movies.
when movies were good, the '90s.
Honestly, dude. Honestly.
I hope we hit another like renaissance of movies like one day. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's not gonna
I
happen.
don't think it's gonna happen. It's because you want to know why we're never gonna hit a renaissance of good movies anymore. The market is overly saturated with superhero movies. That's why it's never gonna happen again.
And the thing is, that's what audiences want. So like, I don't blame Hollywood for releasing 10 superhero movies a year because that's what sells. And at the end of the day, Hollywood's a business and they have to make money.
Like
So
imagine if superhero movies were out of the equation and then we just got a movie like Power of the Dog. People would die for that movie. But now since because we have our modern worldview and then we watched Power of the Dog, we're like this movie's kind of mid. Like
well, that like I saw a take on TikTok that really pissed me off because like people were saying that oh like Marvel and Disney should make like make MCU movies about not superhero characters. Like how about they make a movie about a religious person coming to terms with the fact that Norse mythology and gods are real and that his religion isn't what he thought it was, or like let's make a movie about a family who like came back after the snap and like half like their children are 5 years older. I'm like, guys, you're describing other movies. You're describing you want Marvel to make movies that you're not watching right now.
yeah, that's the thing, right? Like those are good concepts. They could work if they were done well, but that's like for a comic book or for a novel. Those were good as novels these days. Like if V for Vendetta came out today, nobody would watch it. It would just be viewed as a like people first of all people would cancel it right away.
Yeah, nobody would watch it, or everyone would be like, "Oh, this is like Batman Light."
Yeah. It's too overly saturated with superhero movies that are exactly the same nowadays. And that's why we're never going to have a renaissance of film anymore. It's the same thing with music. We're never going to have a renaissance of music anymore cuz everything's rap now.
It's a shame because like people are so close, right, to like having a point, or like, but the problem is they're asking for something that they have and they're just not watching. Like if you want like character driven movies, like you want character studies, they exist, so they're out there. You're just not watching them because you're going to watch Endgame again,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. There's a reason why right now what is considered to be the greatest film of all time is a fucking over overly stupid multiverse movie. You think that would fly in the 90s? No.
Oh, it's too weird.
Nobody would watch that. They'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" I'd rather watch something serious.
And the thing is, I don't see people like I don't think everything everywhere all at once is gonna do too well unless it gets nominated for like best picture or something. People aren't gonna like general audiences aren't gonna watch it.
Yeah, in our episode of Everything Everywhere All at Once, go ahead and listen to it. It was the last episode. We make a lot of points on how this movie is one of the best produced movies we've ever seen, and it should be nominated for a lot of categories, and it probably will. And that's the only recognition that movie's going to get. Did you know about Coda before the Oscars happened? No. Would you have known about it if the market wasn't overly saturated with all the movies that are exactly the same? Probably. You would probably know about Coda, and people would probably be like, "Oh yeah, this is definitely gonna get an Oscar nomination." Because nowadays, how many times have you watched a movie and then been like, "Oh, this might get an Oscar"? You never do that anymore, right? Like it doesn't happen anymore.
An alternative question is how many times have you gone to the theater for something that wasn't a pop culture movie?
Yeah, like when me and Pat went to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once, the theater was completely filled with people who genuinely adore film, the people who love movies, and like I was hearing conversations around us, like these are all people that were like that knew about this movie and came to watch it. Like we made this point in the episode, but like who if Coda just came out, right? And Coda didn't get a theatrical release over here where we live. But if it did, nobody would be like, "Let's go watch Coda tonight." You know? You would have to plan it out. Like, "Oh, there's this great movie I heard of called Coda. Let's go watch it."
Yeah. And that's not to say I don't like superhero movies, because I love them. I watch most of them. Doctor Strange is coming out in like a couple days at the time of recording.
Yeah, we're all going to watch it.
We're going to watch it together. We're all excited to see it, and we're going to be talking about it. That's like the next episode, I think. Spoilers.
That is actually the next episode, yeah.
Yeah, that's not to say we don't like superhero movies, but I think the abundance of superhero movies or just pop culture action movies have like kind of just like taken us far off the path of this film renaissance we could have. Because people are on the right track. They want movies. Like they want to see the lives of like the people who survived the snap or the people who came back to find that their family moved on without them, right? Like the people have this idea in their head that they want to see these movies. But the problem is they're looking at Disney to do it when instead they have to think that these movies already exist. You're just not watching them.
Yeah.
And because you're not watching them, they're not being made. They're like more of them aren't being made.
That's why it's so important to like watch movies you've never heard of, watch movies that have bad reviews. Watch anything that piques your interest cuz you never know. It might be the next V for Vendetta.
We found a way to wrap that back around because that was a bit of a tangent. We brought right back to V for Vendetta, yeah.
That might be the best tangent we've ever had.
Well, it's something I'm really passionate about, and I'd love to have like a maybe we could do that like on an episode one day. It's just like just chatting, because it's just interesting topic.
These days, with the technology we have, with the cameras and the talent that we have today, with these amazing actors and actresses and these amazing directors and producers and cinematographers and editors that we have these days, we have the potential to make a new renaissance, to restart the way we look at film. But Hollywood is too scared to do it. And I think they know they can do it. And there are some directors that push forward to try and do that, like Christopher Nolan pushes forward to try and hit that standard.
I don't think it's Hollywood that's scared because like you said, there's directors that would love to just like take that next big step in film, like Tarantino or Nolan or Wright or whoever, Spielberg. But the problem is money, right? Like Hollywood is thrives on their investors, and what are investors gonna put their money into? An experimental like personal story? Or Iron Man 4, right? Like, what's gonna, at the end of the day, what's gonna bring them more money? And maybe Iron Man 4 is great, right? But like, it comes at the cost of these smaller movies with bigger ideas not getting recognition they might deserve because 10 million people want to go see Iron Man 7.
And then like when like Iron Man 10 comes out, right? And like people watch it, what's their reaction immediately after? When's the next one?
Yeah.
Like that's not how you should look at film.
As much as I love superhero movies, I don't think about them the same way I think about something like everything everywhere all at once, right? There are like a few examples. Like I still have like Spider-Man No Way Home brain rot. That's because I'm a Spider-Man fanboy. But I'm super excited for Doctor Strange because of Sam Raimi as a director. But I'm not going to be thinking about what happened in Doctor Strange in a month. I'll be thinking about what Sam Raimi did. But like as far as like the story and the characters, I'm not going to be thinking about that anymore in a month. We watched Black Widow a year ago.
I don't remember it.
I could not tell you what happened in that movie.
I can't tell you anything that happened to them except for the bad CG.
Yeah, I think about stuff like Shang-Chi, because Shang-Chi like it's still a superhero movie, but it pushed the envelope. You know, like the fight choreography in Shang-Chi is the best out of any Marvel movie, bar none. And that's what I'm gonna think about when I think about Shang-Chi. But like, I'm not gonna think about something like Black Widow or what came out after Shang-Chi. There was a movie, wasn't there? But between that and
There was a
Spider-Man?
movie after Shang-Chi. It was
I is that not the point?
No Way
though?
Home.
Is it No Way Home? I thought there was one between them.
No Way Home's at Oh, Eternals.
Eternals. I don't even remember watching that movie. I know I did because I logged it, but I don't remember watching it. I think like I agree that I think more Marvel stuff needs to push the envelope. But I think the things people want Marvel to do is already out there. They're not looking at it. And maybe we should end that tangent here because we can go on and this is not an episode about that.
Yeah.
This is about V for Vendetta.
Yeah, I just want to make one last point because, like, we're talking about this and all that. Why do you think people are still talking about movies like V for Vendetta, 12 Angry
Exactly.
Men? Do you think people are in like 20 years are going to be talking about the MCU as extensively as we're talking about the great movies of the past? I don't think so. Avengers Endgame is not going to be talked about because it was such an epic finale to the MCU. People are talking about it because they're gonna be like, oh my god, sitting there in the theater watching that happen with all my friends was insane.
Yeah, and like that's part of the experience too. Like No Way Home was good, but I think No Way Home was made better because I watched it in the theaters with my friends and the whole audience was getting into it. And the same goes for Endgame. I don't even like Endgame, but because I got to see it in theaters and I got that experience, I enjoyed it more. But that's not me enjoying Endgame as a film. That's me enjoying Endgame as an experience I got to experience with other people, which is fine. That's what movies are about, right? Movies are like they are what you make of them to an extent. But I kind of miss movies coming out that you could talk about as an art piece.
Yeah.
The MCU is not. You can't dissect the MCU the same way you dissect again a painting, right?
Yeah, and that's why when the Batman came out, me and Pat were fucking drooling at that movie after watching it.
It's shot so well.
It's shot like a film. The Batman is a film. That is the art piece we have been looking for in these superhero movies.
Like say what you will about the Batman, like a lot of people think it's too slow, or like they're tired of Bruce Wayne whispering the whole movie. Like whatever, that's fine. You're allowed to feel that way. But I think the way Batman is shot and edited needs to be like the gold standard for superhero movies going forward.
Because I think that the best part about the Batman is that if you take away the superhero stuff and all the things that like make it pop culture and cliche, behind all of that is a character study of Bruce Wayne, and that's what we need. But okay,
Yeah,
we'll stop there
we
because
we got on for a while. Hope you guys enjoyed that.
yeah.
A TLDR, when Scorsese said that movie heroes are roller coaster rides, maybe he had a point.
Yeah. All that's to say that V for Vendetta really did that for the early 2000s, and there probably won't ever be another movie like this.
Probably not. I mean, like Watchmen tried.
Watchmen tried. The thing that fucking ruined Watchmen, I think, is just because it was directed by a guy who doesn't like comic books.
I think it was directed by a guy who doesn't understand the comic book.
No, he says he loves reading comics. I just think he's lying.
Let's not summon the Snyder cult.
Mm. Well, with that being said, V for Vendetta, great movie. I highly recommend it. We're gonna move on to our next segment, Hot Off the Presses, segment where we talk about movie news. And there's a lot happened here. A lot happened because CinemaCon was this week. It ended 2 days ago.
We took a week off, so there was that. But yeah, CinemaCon did happen, and there's a lot to talk about there. So you want to just jump right into it?
Yeah, let's jump right into it. So, one of the first things that we got at CinemaCon was we have some news about every Spider-Man project, every DC project. They got delayed, all of them. Every single DC project got delayed. Every single Spider-Man project got delayed by about from 6 months to a year. It varied per movie. The super sad thing is that Across the Spider-Verse was delayed from October 8th to April 13th. I want to say.
It was a pretty hefty delay.
Yeah, that's a chonker. I was actually super excited. I was like, oh, it's coming out on my birthday month.
On the opposite end, we did get a title confirmation for Spider-Verse Part 2. It's no longer going to be called Part 1 and Part 2. Now it has its own title. It's called Beyond the Spider-Verse. And yeah, it's supposed to come out in 2024, I believe.
with the delay for the DC movies, Black Adam has been delayed to October 21st, which is my birthday. Black Adam is my birthday movie. And I've done this research before because I was always super curious. And there has never been a big budget AAA movie that's come out on my birthday. Black Adam is the first one. Another editor's note, that statement was completely wrong. I just looked it up, and there's a bunch of movies that came out on my birthday. So we got Johnny English Reborn, the music video for Lips Are Moving. I don't know why that's here. Paranormal Activity 3, the Speed Racer movie, The Three Musketeers, and Moonlight. Moonlight came out on my birthday. I didn't know that. I just looked it up right now. Also, the number one movie that came out on my birthday is called Boo Amada Halloween. I don't know what that is. We also have Rockabye, Rebecca, and some other obscure ones I've never heard of. But yeah, I didn't know that. I thought Black Adam would be the first big budget one, but there are multiple big budget ones here. I mean, Moonlight is here, so yeah. Yeah, I was just wrong.
The Rock, baby.
Yay, I guess. Moving on, another thing that we got confirmed is the Batman 2 is officially happening, and Zoe Kravitz was confirmed to be returning. We kind of knew this already, but now it's actually official.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is really surprised about the Batman 2 happening. But yeah, that's the thing. To go back to CinemaCon for a second, because the Batman 2 was confirmed at CinemaCon. We also did get trailers at CinemaCon, as well as like test footage. I'll call it test footage, but it's more like beta footage.
They showed 15 minutes of Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, they showed 15 minutes of Across the Spider-Verse. They showed like 20 minutes of Multiverse of Madness. We got trailers for stuff like The Flash. We got footage from Shazam 2, Aquaman 2, Wonka, Samlet's Lot, Don't Worry Darling, the new Olivia Wilde movie. The Elvis movie got footage shown at the CinemaCon. A lot of stuff was shown at CinemaCon. I hope we get to see this stuff at some point. Or at least the trailers, we get to see them. But we do have descriptions of what happened in this event. We got confirmation for Spider-Verse, for example, that a Vulture is in it. Neat. And the version of Spider-Woman is the pregnant one from like the 2017 comics, I think. So that's cool.
Cool. I don't know what he's talking about. So
Yeah.
So an obscure thing that got revealed is James Cameron still thinks Avatar is relevant. We know this. We got a trailer for Avatar 2. It is called Avatar: The Way of Water, and apparently from again we haven't, the trailer's not public yet, but from descriptions they said it looks breathtaking. I'll have to see for myself because Cyberpunk 2077 looked breathtaking. Okay, to be honest, that game looks gorgeous, but whatever.
When it works.
When it works. Oh, wait, what? I didn't know about this one. Pat added a bunch of stuff to the list last minute that I didn't see until right now. So, the Marvels and Ant-Man 3 swapped release dates. So, Ant-Man 3 is coming out first. I guess they're doing this because Miss Marvel is a show, and they're going to wait until people have time to watch that, and then make the Marvels come out.
Yeah, because she's in it. Like, it's confirmed she's in it. We got like a poster.
I mean, it's called The Marvels. Like, I think from the title you would know, like, oh, there's Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. There they are.
And there's Monica Rambo. May or may not be a variant that we'll talk about soon.
We'll see in Multiverse of Madness next week.
So John Watts was directing the MCU Fantastic Four movie. He has decided to walk from the project. It was completely amicable. John Watts has just decided that he wants to take a break from superhero movies. So he is no longer directing Fantastic Four. But he was also confirmed to be returning for Spider-Man 4. As well as, obviously, Tom Holland is returning as Peter Parker, and Zendaya is confirmed to be returning as well.
No confirmation for Ned Leeds yet. But if them two are coming back, he's probably gonna come back.
I hope if Zendaya returns, it is for a much smaller role because of the ending of from No Way Home.
Yep. You know what? In that case, then Ned might not even be in the movie, unless he's Hobgoblin. Ooh. Next up, we have a few confirmations from the new Doctor Strange trailer. So Monica Rambo is a character from the comics that not a lot of people know. I've never heard of her.
She's in WandaVision and she's in Captain Marvel. She's the kid in Captain Marvel and she's the agent in WandaVision
Yeah,
who gets powers in WandaVision.
like her mom was the pilot in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, yeah. In the recent Doctor Strange trailer, it was confirmed that the Captain Marvel that is part of the Illuminati is a variant of Monica Rambeau. It's a
Damn.
lot of words. Multiverse shenanigans.
Yeah. Also, I'm just throwing this in. Speaking of Multiverse of Madness, we got this super cool white poster for it. I don't know if I'm allowed to put it up, but I'm not going to put it up on the YouTube channel just in case. But if you just search up Multiverse of Madness white poster, this is, I think, the best MCU poster we've got so far. Like this, it looks. Wait, no, never mind. That's a lie. It's the second best. The best one's coming up. But it looks really good, and you could see like in the glass, there's like 4 different types of demons. This movie looks like it's gonna be a fucking thrill ride. It's also a very long movie. But moving on. I think that we're done with all of the CinemaCon stuff. I think that was all the CinemaCon stuff.
Yeah, we've been actually the John Watts and Doctor Strange 2 stuff wasn't from CinemaCon. That was public. Like,
Oh, okay.
the trailer is out there. Yeah.
Speaking of, we were just talking about how we're so oversaturated with superhero movies. All of that from CinemaCon, that was all superhero stuff, except Avatar
And Elvis.
and Elvis. Jesus, man. All right, so that 70s show is getting a reboot. If you remember, there was another reboot a long time ago, that 80s show, which flopped. But we're getting that 90s show, which is actually going to bring back some of the main cast. The main characters look like they're going to be kitten ready.
Kitten ready.
Kitten ready.
Off camera, I called them Kitten ready.
Red and Kitty. So it looks like they're going to be the main characters, and the original cast might be coming in for cameos and short, small roles. Every cast member from that 70s show has been confirmed to return, except for Hyde. Who knows why?
Next, 2 CW shows have been canceled. Legend of Tomorrow has been canceled at season 7, I believe, and Batgirl has been canceled at season 3.
Damn.
I'm not gonna miss either. I could not get into Legend of Tomorrow personally, and Batgirl sucks. Batgirl sucks. Oh, Batwoman sucks. Batgirl is a different show.
Well, then well, hold on a second now. Well, what's the new one called?
Batgirl. Not out yet, though.
No, but no, I mean the new CW show. Isn't there a new one? Superman and Lois.
I heard Superman and Lois is good, but it's not tied to the CW at all. So that's probably why it's good.
Ah, I thought that was a CW. Oh well. James Corden, from the hit film Cats, is leaving the Late Late Show in 2023. One of our friends told us this yesterday. I guess that's how it got in here.
Yes, that's why it's in here.
You know what? Good riddance. I couldn't care less. He had a terrible talk show.
I don't like talk shows. I don't like James Corden, so I did not watch the show.
The only good talk show is Conan.
I'll take your word on it.
Hey, another kind of sad one here. So Andrew Garfield is actually taking a break from acting, not just as American characters.
In acting in general.
Acting in general.
He was in 2 bangers and decided, you know what, I'm taking a break. Good for him. I hope he gets his rest.
That seems to be something that's happening a lot here. A lot of people are taking breaks. A lot of actors are taking breaks. But I can see why actors it's very demanding to be an actor these days.
You have to like give months of your life at a time to a project, right?
Right.
Next we have I put a bunch of Spider-Man stuff together. Well, it's Spider-Man related things.
Oh boy.
But Tobey Maguire was cast as Charlie Chaplin in Backloggd.
Yeah, we knew for a while that Tobey Maguire was in Babylon, but he's Charlie Chaplin.
Yep.
Is he the lead? Is that him?
I believe so.
Ooh, Babylon is a movie that's coming out that's directed by Damien Chazelle, the guy who directed Whiplash and La La Land. So you're damn right we're gonna watch that.
and Toby's in it, so I'm obligated to watch it.
Tobey Maguire is actually, like, if you guys actually didn't know this, he's not normally a film actor. He's a Broadway actor.
I just checked. He is a supporting role, and he's also producing the movie. Or executive producer. But yeah,
Oh, like
interesting.
tell me what's so.
So Sam Raimi has been doing a lot of interviews lately. Obviously, he's doing his press tour for Multiverse of Madness. He has confirmed that his favorite character, sorry, is Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the MCU. His description tells me he did not watch Far From Home, so I'm happy.
Nice.
He said that he would be interested in doing a Spider-Man 4 if Marvel was interested. Marvel, please, please. I'm no longer asking. Please make Spider-Man 4. Make Spider-Man 4 and make Amazing Spider-Man 3. Yeah.
If they make Amazing Spider-Man 3 and it's just as bad as the first two, I'm gonna be so like I'm gonna laugh so hard. I'm gonna be so
Yeah.
fucking happy. That's such a huge meme.
But we could hope it doesn't, right?
I kind of want it to. No, no, no. Andrew Garfield deserves his good Spidey movie.
He does.
All right, so before I mentioned that the white Doctor Strange poster is the second best Marvel poster, it's because since the last time we recorded, the Thor: Love and Thunder trailer finally dropped. It plays "Sweet Child of Mine" by Guns N' Roses. That was kind of weird, to be honest. I wasn't expecting it, but anyways, the movie looks pretty good, but the poster looks better. I that poster is straight up a He-Man type kind of poster, and it looks amazing. It looks hand drawn too. That is the best MCU poster we will ever get. The one with Thor, not the one with Mighty Thor. Fuck Natalie Portman. I just dropped my phone.
Good job. Oh, another CinemaCon thing, but Fast and Furious 10 has this title. It's Fast X. Brie Larson was also cast in this movie, and so was Jason Momoa.
This is the one that's gonna be in space, right?
They made 11 of these fucking movies. 11.
Oh, you're counting Hobbs and Shaw. Yeah,
Yep.
this is
I'm tired. And that's coming from someone who kind of enjoys these movies as dumb action flicks. I'm tired of them.
I haven't seen any of them, and I don't want to.
The early ones are fun. I think Fast 5 is unironically like great.
Well, that concludes Hot Off the Press's very busy week, and next week we're gonna have nothing to talk about.
Next week we're talking about nothing. We're not even talking about movies. It's gonna be an hour of me talking about Sam Raimi as a person, and that's it.
All right, so we're moving on to our final segment for today, Backloggd, the segment where we recommend each other movies. Okay, so when we recorded the Backlog segment, I got a case of the hiccups, and I couldn't stop them, and I couldn't get rid of them, and we didn't have time to re-record the segment because this episode was already as delayed as it is. So I just rolled with it, and it didn't come out well, and I didn't end up speaking my thoughts about X-Men, so I'm actually gonna do that right now super quickly. I thought it was alright for being a 2000s movie, like the first one after Blade and Batman and Robin was actually pretty good. It's a good start for what comes afterwards, and I'm really excited to watch Logan after this because in this movie, Wolverine's not really a big important character. He's kind of just there for no reason. In my head he was just like there to sell tickets for that movie because I've seen X2 at this point, and in X2 he's a much like more influential character, so I think they just didn't know what to do with Wolverine in the first movie. And we are going to be focusing on Wolverine mostly during this watch of the X-Men movies because I'm going to watch Logan, so I'm going to be focusing on that. But there you go. There's my thoughts on X-Men. I thought it was okay. If I watched it as a kid, I probably would have liked it. Mystique creeps me out, and after watching X2, she's climbing the ranks of hated movie characters, and I feel like she's going to meet Nebula up there, so we'll see. Anyways, please enjoy me trying to talk about X-Men and failing because my body hates me. Pat recommended me the very first X-Men because prior to the episode being recorded, we were talking about how I never saw Logan, and that triggered him, I guess.
Yeah, it pissed me off. Because at one, I really want him to watch Logan because I think he'd love Logan. I think he
I
would
also
love it.
think I'd love Logan. I know I love Logan.
But also for you guys, I want to talk about Logan, and we can't do that unless Lib watches 10 movies. So I figured instead of waiting for Lib to watch them, I'll force him to. So if in 4 weeks, because I already have an idea of what I'm recommending him next time. So for 4 weeks, he has not seen X2. I will be recommending him X2.
Oh fuck! I have hiccups. Why?
Yeah, so that's what's happening. You have been warned. The audience has been warned. We are watching Logan, whether you want to or not. You okay?
Fuck. I have hiccups, and it's me. And whenever I have to cough, and whenever I cough, I get a hiccup. Oh fucking shit. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm good. All right. So yeah, this is all leading up to me watching Logan eventually. I need to watch even the bad ones. Fuck! I still have hiccups.
Funny. It's not as funny because if anything, we're watching mostly the bad ones.
Yeah, I have to watch the 2 Wolverine movies. Damn. Well, I gave X-Men 3 stars.
I also gave it 3 stars.
Yeah, it was directed by Bryan Singer, the guy who directed The Usual Suspects and Bohemian Rhapsody. It's very hit or miss for that fucking hiccups. You know, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, this is also a 90s superhero movie. 1999,
2000.
right? Or like 2000? 2000, okay.
Yeah, this was the first superhero movie to come out after Batman and Robin.
I said that. But I don't know how right I am about that.
Wasn't Batman and Robin 97?
I think Blade might have come out between them, but don't quote me.
These hiccups are pissing me off.
Want to redo that part?
No, I'm okay. It's part of the episode. It's part of the episode now. Fucking
Okay, well, maybe having hiccups is your mutation, and you're an X-Man now.
Oh my god, my powers are revealing themselves. Hold on, let me try to get rid of them right now. Ah, there we go. All right, they're gone. Oh no, they're not. Why do hiccups happen? You ever wonder that?
I can't say I have, honestly. No, I don't think about it that much.
I'm looking it up right now. Hiccups are caused by involuntary contractions of your diaphragm, muscle that separates from your abdomen. An important role in breathing. The involuntary contraction causes your vocal cords to close up very briefly, which produces a charismatic sound.
Interesting. X-Man.
Fucking shit. Nothing's working. I need to be scared.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Ah! Fuck, it didn't work. Am I good? Is it over? Nope. This movie was great. I watched it with a bunch of friends and we all made fun of it. And Patrick Stewart plays a bald guy in a wheelchair, and he's the best performance in the whole movie because he's the only one that's actually trying.
I think Hugh Jackman tries.
Yeah, I need to watch the rest of them.
I think he gets better, but I'd say he puts out a good performance here.
Are these hiccups just gonna stay or something? Like
I don't know if I should keep. I don't know if I should keep talking or not.
No, keep. No, you could keep talking. It's only on my end. Fuck.
Yeah, I think Hugh Jackman's fine in this movie. I think he's at his weakest, obviously, because it's his first appearance ever as Wolverine. But I think it's good. I don't think it's as iconic as Robert Downey Jr.'s first performance as Tony Stark. But he definitely does get better, and he definitely like becomes the face of the character later. It's nice to see him look all young and stuff in this movie though, because seeing Hugh Jackman now, and especially seeing Hugh Jackman in Logan, where he's aged up, it was nice to go back to him as little baby boy. Patrick Stewart's in this movie, and he's great. Ian McKellen is Magneto, the villain, and he's great. These are two fantastic actors who stay for the entire franchise for the most part, and they're great.
I watched a review of this movie, and he said that Wolverine is too tall in this movie, and that's why he doesn't like him.
Wolverine is too tall, but to not like him because he's too tall is stupid. Listen, I know everyone wants a short Canadian man to play Wolverine, but if you ignore the fact that Hugh Jackman is a colossus, he's a great Wolverine.
Hey, please stop hiccup. Please. Can I please stop? The things I didn't like about this movie, though, is like half of the people in this movie just like stand there because there's not a lot of opportunity for these performances to shine. Fuck. It's part of the episode now. I don't care. I don't care. This ending's scuffed because this movie's scuffed. It's the Fox cult.
Yeah, they cursed us.
They cursed me.
They cursed, yeah. I mean, I'm cursed by being here, right? This is pre Spider-Man 1. And I think, like, because this movie has the same kind of cheesy comic bookiness that Spider-Man 1 has. Where, like, it hasn't necessarily aged well, but its age is kind of on purpose. And, like, Sam Raimi actually talked about that recently in an interview. Where, like, he didn't want to make a timeless movie. He wanted it to feel like Peter Parker from 2003 was on the screen. And that's why a lot of that cheesiness is, is the way it is. It's intentional. And I think X-Men kind of has that same vibe to it. I just think Spider-Man 1 does it better. Like it does being a cheesy comic book adaptation better. And that's all I have. That's all I have to say on X-Men, buddy. So like
I have so much to say, but I can't fucking.
Yeah, it's like right up. Like I have nothing left, bud. So you're gonna have to power through these hiccups.
Okay, I'm gonna try powering through it. Okay, Halle Berry's in this movie. I forgot she was in the movie like 2 nights after I watched it.
Actually. No, I forgot she was in the movie when we saw her. I'm like, oh, that's. And then you pointed it out. You're like, oh, that's Halle Berry.
Storm has, I counted them. Storm has 3 lines. Storm has 3 lines, or more like 3 scenes where she speaks. Not 3 lines. She has 3 scenes where she speaks.
She's just lightning. She's Pikachu in this movie. Like she exists to
shock. You know what happens when you light a toad on fire? Same thing that happens to everything else. That's such a stupid line. Where does that come from?
That's a kind of badass when you consider it's from 2000, right?
I don't know about that one, Chief.
It's 2000. It's badass for 2000s era cringe comments.
All right, there's way more I want to say. Like I want to talk about the villains and stuff, but I think I need to wrap this up because I can't speak anymore. Fuck. All right, so Pat, I need to recommend you a movie.
Yeah,
this is the worst ending ever.
It's okay. Maybe there will be a blooper at the end. Maybe. I'll save it.
Well, it has to be in the episode. I'm talking about X-Men. Fuck.
No, like the blooper from like the audio test.
Ah, yeah. Shit. Fuck, what the
Lib, remember Chit and Ready? Now that you recommend me that movie, so you can wrap this up.
Okay. Okay. We need to wrap this up. Alright, so Pat, I need to recommend you a movie now. You know how some of my recommendations I was like, Pat, how have you not seen this at all? You know, this movie, I think it's on your watch list by mistake. But if it isn't, I'm gonna murder you.
Okay.
Fuck, Pat, you like sci-fi movies, right?
I do.
Do you like Oscar sweeps?
Yes.
Oh, let me give you a movie that I think won 13 Oscars. I think. This is a huge meme in the Oscar community. I'm talking about Mad Max Fury Road. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
What? How?
This and
Blade Runner 2049.
Blade Runner 2049 are movies I've always wanted to see, and I have not sat down and watched them yet. Yeah, I've not seen Fury Road.
What? Okay, well,
it is not on here by accident.
Well, Pat, I am making you watch Mad Max Fury Road.
I am excited.
I'm a little bit afraid that I'm wasting a banger here because this movie might be too much of a banger, but we could do an episode about it later on.
Hey, they did that for La La Land, right? So maybe we'll turn it back around
and this movie is what in my honest opinion the only good Tom Hardy movie.
I think Venom is pretty good.
Wait, I forgot Tom Hardy is in Dunkirk and Inception. Those movies are good
and
too.
he's in The Revenant, and he's in.
I have hot takes about The Revenant.
Interesting. You can talk about it when you're not dying.
Yeah, well, I don't think I'm dying anymore. Actually, I think I'm good.
He's in No Way Home.
I said what I said.
Yeah, he's in Marie Antoinette.
I said what I said.
You haven't seen it.
Well, I don't know what Marie Antoinette is.
He's in that Al Capone fucking biopic.
What?
that I haven't seen. I haven't seen it.
What Al Capone biopic? What's it called?
It's called Capone.
I don't even see it. I'm on Letterboxd. Oh my god, I found it. Apparently it sucks, dude.
I haven't seen it. I'm looking at Google right now. He's in Venom Let There Be Carnage. How can you say
All
Mad
right,
Max Fury Road
you're just
is...
naming every Tom Hardy movie.
He's in a rock and rolla.
But like you know how we keep saying how in every Tom Hardy movie they make him look like shit. He's the lead in this movie. He still looks like shit. Like this, it's a post apocalypse in this movie. Like he looks like shit.
Well, he looks like shit because everyone looks like shit, right? So
Yeah, everyone in this movie looks like shit, but like this movie itself doesn't look like shit. Directed by George Miller, who directed all the other Mad Max movies, but he also directed Babe and Happy Feet. So, you know, there's a new Mad Max movie that's in production, but I'm preparing you for the new one. Okay, you have to watch Mad Max Fury Road.
I will.
And with that being said, my hiccups are gone because I stopped talking about X-Men. It really was the Fox cult. X-Men kind of mid. There we go. I said what I needed to say. If you want to hear more about my opinions on X-Men, I guess wait until Pat recommends me X2.
X2 is better. So
I know. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. Make sure to check out the socials and the rest of the episodes, which you could find on the link tree, linktr.ee/freshoffthereel. And you don't want to miss the next episode because we're going to be talking about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And Pat's just going to talk about Sam Raimi. Like, not even the movie. There's just Sam Raimi. He's going to talk about Evil Dead.
you guys know that I like the Spider-Man trilogy by Sam Raimi.
Evil Dead 2 is in his top 50 best movies list.
Yeah, I might be editing that movie list like today because some opinions need to be elaborated on and some changes that some need to be changed.
Yeah, actually, I recently just made a top 50 list for my own. If you want to see any of our top 50 lists, our Letterboxd accounts are also in the link tree. See, look at that segue. That was perfect.
You did it.
This episode is way longer than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, legit. I think we've been going for like almost an hour and a half, right?
It's been an hour and 34.
Yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be long.
Damn. It's cause we went on that tangent about how movies should be these days. That was a good tangent.
Maybe we could do a bonus episode just on that we could elaborate further. Who knows? We'll
Ooh,
see.
who knows? But that being said, thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see all of you in a theater near you. Bye.
Goodbye. We have a lot to talk about in Hot Off the Presses, which is good because it'll make for good filler. Did we talk? We didn't record an episode when the Thor trailer dropped, did we?
Oh yeah, I guess that's news. You gotta put that.
Are you recording again? Or
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
I am. I think that's enough stuff for Hot Off the Presses. Because like the CinemaCon stuff, we'll probably just elaborate on as a conversation. So
You know what? You know what's weirding me out about that '90s show?
what?
That '70s show. The last episode took place New Year's Day, 1979, and
Right.
the show ended as soon as it became 1980. And that's how it ends. But then that '90s show, we skipped a decade.
The 80s are irrelevant. They never happened.
Honestly, I'd rather a show about the '80s.
I think they did 70s. I mean they're doing 90s because
That '80, well, first of all, the '80s show already exists.
yeah, and also like an original idea. Let's do a show about the kids of the characters from the original series. And you want to make them old enough to be like the original cast age, so you have to skip a decade or so.
If the show doesn't start and fucking if Eric and Donna are split up at the beginning of the show, I'm not watching it. Okay, that's just straight up. I'm not gonna watch it.
I feel like that's either gonna be the case or we're not gonna see them physically be together. Like regardless, I feel like everybody returning aside from Kit and Reddy, Kitty and
Kit
Reddy,
and Reddy.
Kit and Reddy, Kitty and Red,
Kitty and
Kitty and Red.
Kitty and Red.
I feel like they're only they're the only ones we're gonna see as like regular cast members. I think like the old cast is just gonna be in there
Oh, it's a different cast. Also,
Yeah.
it's like How I Met Your Fucking Father.
Yeah, it's legit just gonna be like kids and red. Fuck, I did it again. Kitty and red. I did it again.
Kitten Ready. In the episode, I'm gonna call them Kitten Ready.
You could like put this in as a blooper if you want. I don't fucking care. But like, I feel like Red and Kitty are the only ones who are gonna be in the show regularly, and it's gonna be a whole new cast. Like it's about the kids, right? It's not about the old characters.
Yeah.